as Grant said, my name is Chris. I'm here to represent Speaking Schools Australasia. We basically run debating and public speaking workshops for children from year 1 all the way through to year 12. Just to give you a quick background about Speaking Schools and how it all started, and then I'll delve into the incursion side of things. So Speaking Schools started at around 2015. So it's been running for about 6 years. It's a locally owned and run business. To give you an idea, when Mark, who is the co-founder and managing director, when he started, there was 7 students and about 4 coaches. And just recently in our summer programs, we had 450 students in a couple of weeks, plus 40 coaches come through. So there's been a lot of growth, and there's been, of course, as you can imagine, a lot of ups and downs, especially due to COVID-19. However, Speaking Schools was very blessed in the sense that we had already been doing a lot of online learning prior to COVID coming into the picture. So I guess COVID just pushed us to evolve a little bit further. Sorry, I just... So a little bit about what we do day to day, I guess, is we offer weekly term programs. And that basically means that parents predominantly are our key point of contact for the weekly term programs that are run after school in debating and public speaking. We've also got intensive holiday workshops. Once again, that's more for the parent community. But now today it's more about, I guess, addressing the student and teaching community a little bit more. And that's where school incursions and professional development seminars kick in. So just to give you an idea of what that means, we basically run and have run public speaking and debating seminars, whether it's a half day, full day, or ongoing programs with schools. An example of what we've done recently, we connected with Regional New South Wales, which was a fantastic opportunity. That was with Narrabri Primary School. And that involved running a 5-week public speaking workshop with students who were very much involved in leadership roles. And the students were amazing. We did it all through Zoom. It was a beautiful success. And then because of course, the wonderful world of technology, we were able to run a professional development seminar in public speaking with the teacher running that particular group. So I guess the fact that COVID came in kind of pushed and opened up new doors for us. And that's something that we would like to continue to do. So in terms of incursions and professional development, we are open to both options, face-to-face or online, depending on location, school's preference, and of course, whatever COVID is demanding of us in terms of restrictions. A lot of our programs, sorry, I just accidentally flicked that. A lot of our programs that we do within schools, and of course, the weekly and in holiday programs that we run, cover some of these key areas of the New South Wales English curriculum. And basically what we want, of course, we want students to meet outcomes that are, and teachers as well, to help foster meet outcomes. But the crux, I guess, is something that other presenters touched on, is building confidence. We really encourage students to find their voice, have a sense of agency, where they can express their point of views about the world, about their experiences, share stories and such. We want them to walk away with a little bit more critical thinking, which of course will help them not only in school, but beyond. Empathy was touched upon today. That's something that we really, really value and really foster in our classrooms and beyond. And of course, resilience. So basically, we want students to walk away with soft skills that have hard value in life, not just in the classroom. So that's a little bit about the curriculum and our core values. In terms of our professional development, we try to, I guess the reason we offer them is, I know I was a teacher myself. I still do a little bit of teaching, but I was teaching in New South Wales schools. And of course, I've taught internationally as well, that often we don't always get the support or the resources needed to develop our skills further. And I guess that's what professional development is all about. So that's what we want to offer. We want to offer courses in either debating or public speaking, or both for that matter, to help, I guess, teachers meet some of the professional standards, and therefore, I guess, equip them to facilitate these 2 subject areas a little bit more and feel much more supported in doing so. At the end of the day, I guess one thing I want to just wrap up with is our mission statement is to, as I mentioned before, is to provide students with soft skills and resilience so they can, I guess, cope with change a lot more, walk away with a bit more self-confidence, and of course, empathy, not only for others, but also for themselves. And on a very final note, we also have free resources available for teachers on YouTube. And we have a Facebook page as well, but the YouTube resources, just so you know, there are like mini tutorials in debating and public speaking, and we encourage you to go ahead and have a look and see if they work for you. And that is all. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for that, Chris. You might want to stop sharing your screen so people can see what you look like. That's always good. Yeah, I thought, because you're coming from quite a different angle relative to a lot of the other providers. It's, speaking and public speaking and debating is something, at least from my experience, often kind of a teachable run, build a team and compete with other schools in a competition. So I just thought I'd ask, is there, have your coaches or has the kind of business come into schools to kind of take over that role or find ways to support it? Because at least that's my experience of it. And I'd just be curious to see if that's something, given it seems like it's fairly new to be coming in schools.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we try to, I guess, work with schools so I'm going to give you an example. We have schools that just want us to come in and go, can you run a public speaking seminar? So this week, for example, I'm going into Marist, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to run a public speaking seminar where the teachers are there to simply support, I guess, more classroom manage. And we do the facilitating. But then there are other schools who prefer, I guess, for us to provide the resources and I guess maybe some training, but then they walk away and they facilitate. So I guess it's a bit of both, to be honest. But so far it's been more schools are more open for us to come in, maybe not take over, but I guess work together, and then eventually for teachers to walk away with resources that they can refer back to if they wanted to.
Awesome. That's really good. That answers a lot of that. Rose just had a question.
I'm just reading it now. Have you had any? Yes, we have. Actually, it's a great question. We've had we've had a couple of, I didn't mention this, but I'll mention it now in relation to answering that question. We also offer private or individual coaching or one-on-one for students who have a specific need around public speaking or debating. And one of those that's come up is exactly what Rosemary asked, is interview preparation, whether it's for a scholarship or for a job or for university or whatnot. So yeah, we definitely have coaches that have training in that, and we have resources to support that process.
Yeah, because I mean, Rose is a good friend of mine, and she does careers work. So that's definitely, I think that's definitely, an area that would probably save some careers advisors and even year advisors time. That would be really worthwhile, I think. And I guess the only other thing, because we're pretty much wrapping up here, is have you done work? Because you sort of mentioned confidence and resilience. So is some of the work that you've done around sort of leadership as well? Because I know that's an area, I've been a year advisor before, and public speaking is one of those things that a lot of schools care about with their leaders and with younger students, kind of building them up in that area. But it's something that's not necessarily one person's designated to kind of run that or support that. So I was just sort of asked that. Yeah.
I think from our experience, what we try to do, I guess, is have as much interactive and engaging resources and lessons, activities that encourage students to take leadership, if that makes sense. So it's not so explicitly, you need to do this to be a good leader. So I think that's why I was saying before, we really encourage students to find their voice. I think a lot of students are hesitant. That's why parents and teachers do want these programs. And the 5-week program we did with Narrabri, for example, those students were specifically involved in leadership roles within the community. So I guess we tailored the program a little bit more to get them a little bit more confident, prepared, but also, the nitty-gritty stuff of how to structure something, but how to be an effective public speaker in the sense of thinking outside the box a little bit more, and approaching a speech in a different way rather than the generic, hi, my name is. So we try and be a little bit more creative, I guess, in that regard, and hopefully leadership kind of falls into that. And I think the main thing is we really encourage our coaches to give one-on-one feedback, because I think we need honest, constructive, positive feedback in order to evolve. And I think with that, you know, the end product is maybe to be better in all areas, including leadership.
And were that program that you did, was that in school or was it after school? Because I know that's probably the only other thing I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So that one in particular, they had an hour during school time once a week over 5 weeks. But we can also and have also done things outside of the school time. But I know, because I know it's really hard for schools to schedule in so many programs. But yes, that was in school.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, that's pretty much everything from me. I know that we've gone over time. Thanks for those that could stick around. I know some people may have had to leave a bit earlier.